Hello, welcome back to J Muddy and ATV and Outdoors. My name is Jeremy Warner, and what we are doing today is we are installing my plow. It's actually a Moose Racing plow. I got it at my dealership for a decent price when I bought my four-wheeler, and since winter's coming around, we are going to put it on. I know other places up in Canada, they have actually had snow already, but in Western New York, as you can tell, we haven't had any snow yet. So I figured instead of procrastinating, note this, it's almost mid-December, but I'm not going to procrastinate anymore. But one thing I do highly recommend if your wheeler is going to be sitting during the winter season a lot, I recommend that you get a battery tender, or, well, and also I recommend that you also change out all the fluids in your machine, check and make sure that nothing is leaking, and clean your machine and put all the skid plates back on. But anyhow, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this plow on. And anyhow, stay tuned and you'll see how this plow basically goes on. It's really not that hard. Okay, so the first thing I like to do is I like to stick my screwdriver in the back, scrape any mud or anything that's back there. But I did notice that I do have a little bit of paint from when I went and I put some rust protector on there. So what I gotta do is I gotta scrape some of that paint out of there so then I can actually fit. Can't really get it fully into the camera view there. So I can actually fit that into my plow receiver. So then I can actually get the plow on and everything else. So anyhow, stay tuned. I'll put this on a time lapse. It shouldn't really take much to actually scrape the paint off there. Okay, so we're back. We're going to put our hitch, our plow hitch, into our receiver. And one thing I highly recommend that you do is you take your grease and you wipe it all on the hitch receiver here, and well, you put a little on there, you put some on here, but before you actually put it into your hitch, just gonna lower this down a little. Now, one thing I'm highly gonna recommend that you do is that before you actually shove your hitch here for your plow into your receiver, is since mine's been sitting and it's been collecting dust and everything else, I highly recommend that you clean all the dirt off of it before you actually put it into your plow. That way actually everything fits nice and smoothly. Don't have any issues with with the hitch receiver fitment. Over here. Whoops. All right. But yeah. camera doesn't want to stay up. Yeah, I'm gonna clean all that dirt off. So you can actually get your hitch into your plow receiver. This is actually a Moose Racing RM4. They have updated it where it's just 2 pins and the plow comes off, but I mean, yeah, that's nice, but in the meantime, well, while I'm doing all this, let's go through, clean it, and then just take a little dab of grease here, and we will grease everything up so things actually fit. Well, actually, they'll go in smoother than if we were just to leave it without any lubrication. I think everyone knows a little lube goes a long way. Versus not having any lube in at all. Actually, we'll just take a little lube and spread it around on that hitch receiver too. Okay, so the next step in our process here, we're going to take our hitch. It actually went down in there real smooth. We put it into the receiver. Then our next step is we take our pin here and slide it on. Put it into our machine. It's pretty easy. And then our next step is we're going to take our plow and shove it on in there. So anyhow, I gotta move. Okay, so one thing I like to do while the plow's in storage here is I like to actually put the plow on 2 dollies. That way, whenever you're in the shop here, or you need to actually get access to the workbench or whatever you need access to, at least you're actually able to easily move the plow. And one thing I'm actually going to also do differently this year is this pin here that actually changes the direction of the plow. I'm actually going to grease that, but I'm going to do that when the plow is actually on the wheeler. As you can tell, it struggles to move in and out a little bit, but other than that, this plow has actually been really great to me versus if I would have went the more expensive option, which is the Can-Am plow. The reason why I went with the Moose Racing plow is because that mount there on the front, I can actually transfer it from one machine to another machine, and I actually can save myself at least $1,500 per machine that I actually buy. So that's the only reason why I went with the Moose Racing plow. You know, not only is it versatile when it comes to if I ever do buy another machine, but it also saves me a lot of money in the long run. So that's why I went with the Moose Racing plow. So anyhow, let's just slide this out here. And let's see if this tripod is actually going to work with me or work against me, because that's obvious one new thing I gotta do is eventually get a new tripod. Oh, nope. So I'm going to take this here, and I'm just going to gently slide it off. Slide those dollies out of the way. But, okay, so to give you an idea on how easily this plow goes on, you got a little lever here, moves two knobs in and out. There's two holes on the side of the hitch receiver. So basically, just take this here, and you slide it up. That's pretty much it. Now, alright, so what I'm going to be doing is, next is I'm going to put this in free spool mode, which helps actually turn the power on. And not get the winch actually stuck in there. Okay, so one thing I highly recommend you do whenever attaching your plow is make sure that your winch is actually maintenance. So anyhow, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to detach my little pulley here, put all the parts together. That's why I always bring it up to people that winch maintenance is important, and I can tell in the springtime definitely going to be taking this whole thing apart. But yeah, when you actually take your winch cable out, if it doesn't want to go sometimes, hey, you know, it happens. But the next step is we want to put our winch cable in, and then always make sure that everything, when you put it away, you actually lubricate it up with some grease. But the next step in the process will be actually attaching our winch hook up here on the front bumper. And the reason why I got a winch hook was because I was sick and tired of the cable actually falling apart. Well, I shouldn't say falling apart. It would let go, and when it let go, the plow would drop, and I would have to reattach it in the middle of winter. So what I did was I went out. Okay, so yeah. Basically now we got the old handy dandy strap. You just loop it around the bumper here, Squeeze the little lever, feed it on through. And pull on it. And then take our hook here, feed it on through. Check and make sure that's actually attached. And then now so yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, you just put your hitch into the receiver, pull that lever to actually plop the two pins out, one on the left side, one on the right. And then you put the strap on, stress test it, and that's pretty much it. One reminder to lubricate up your pin. I haven't done that yet, so I'm actually going to do that off camera. It's really not that hard, but I really do like this plow for the money. I actually feel it is so much better versus the OEM Can-Am one, because when you actually back drag, you're actually scraping up snow, ice, sleet, you know, stuff like that. So I highly recommend this plow. So anyhow, stay tuned for more videos, and I'll talk to you soon.